Welcome to Showmance, the #1 show on YouTube doing deep dives on shows with no depth. And tonight we are covering In the City, episode 8. That's 8, in case you're not bilingual.
For the people out there who like to have fun in life, do you guys remember ESPN Ocho?
Ocho Cinco?
No, ESPN Ocho.
Oh, no.
ESPN Ocho was a joke. It was ESPN 8 because like there's ESPN, ESPN 1, ESPN News, ESPN 72. So like they made a joke once about ESPN 8. I think it was in a movie actually. Maybe either basketball or the dodgeball movie. Anyways, ESPN 8 shows all the like silly sports.
Is it a real channel?
It wasn't, and now it kind of is. It's like a real thing. So ESPN every once in a while will do like a ESPN Ocho, and it'll be like freaking wiffle ball championships and like all this silly.
I could get
sports.
behind this.
It's pretty fun. It's a good time. Yeah.
Like ESPN bocce ball.
She doesn't. Well, I think bocce ball, all jokes aside, is a little too serious for ESPN Ocho. Not kidding. It's like basketball type sports. It's like things that people dodgeball.
Got it.
There's this new game that's, I don't know what table darts is. They're like suction cup darts, and you throw them at a table, and there's like a cup or another dart, and it's whoever's closest to the other.
Got it.
So weird shit like that. People get wasted, smoke a little weed, be like, we should try, and then that's an Ocho game.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Do you have a tea time after this?
I might, for Pat Clark. Teeing it up for Pat Clark. I had a different outfit on. It's so freaking hot. I wish I could wear shorts and cute things like Courtney, but
could you imagine Mike in my outfit?
Sleeveless jobbies, yeah. But I'm not that cute and not that tan. And
You don't have to be tan to wear no sleeves.
Yeah, I'm not tan.
I haven't seen the sun in years.
You definitely got to be cuter than I am. So
No,
it's not working out. So this was the last minute. This is in honor of Pat. Pat, I'm wearing my golf outfit for you.
You look great in blue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You like that?
Okay, shall we top of the pops it?
Yeah, sure. Who cares? I'm
that is
kidding. I'm
not the
kidding. I'm kidding. Calm
attitude.
down. Don't tune out
Wait, first
just
of
yet.
all,
Oh yeah, let's get drunk.
this episode is not sponsored by Meteor Wine, but
What do you
for
mean?
tonight's purposes, it is.
Yeah,
They're
well, he's our only pseudo
Yeah,
sponsor.
every episode
Wait, no,
is
I just mean
sponsored
like,
by
are we
Meteor
allowed to
Wine.
say that, or could we find ourselves
He's,
in a?
he's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be bad for his brand. For us, it makes us look great.
Well, listen. Cheers.
Cheers to our only unofficial sponsor.
Cheers to not getting to 5,000 subs by July 4th. Natalie's really only wish in the last 3 years, and we didn't. We failed to give it to her. So.
I literally might cut that out because at this point, I think so many people hate me that I think they'll be like, oh, I'm actually unsubscribing here. If this was Natalie's dream. Oh.
I love you, and I would infinity subscribe just for you.
Don't worry. For everyone that leaves, my mom is making another Google account as we speak.
That's right. You can't tank this ship if you tried, but don't try.
Please,
because we've worked really hard
and I'm
for
tired.
free.
I couldn't chase you.
Okay, shall we top of the pops it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the beginning is just like these little snippets. You know how I feel about these when they happen. I just read them quickly, and you say something if you want to say something. Okay? Those are the rules.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to fight fair. You're going to keep it above the waist. Whatever else they say in boxing.
Yeah.
Okay. Lexi and Andrea look at the full moon.
Cares.
Lindsay puts Gemma down. Whitney tells Kenny she needs a check bag for a destination that they're driving to. I know she was trying to be funny, or I hope she was trying to be funny. And then Kenny, Whitney, Danielle, Owen, Lexi, and Andrea, they all get together because obviously they're going to be in a car together. So that's kind of where the episode starts.
I love that Danielle is like, isn't she with Whitney and Kenny?
Yes.
I just feel like Danielle and Whitney, I don't know. I kind of like them together. I don't know.
Wait, Danielle and Kenny?
Danielle and Whitney, like you like that budding friendship.
Oh,
like
got
it just, sometimes I will always believe that Lindsay is like an undercover EP of this show. Like I just think she is. So I could definitely see her being like, okay, I'll tell you, here's who's writing together. Like, I think that even if they listen to her or not, she definitely sends off her notes to production to be like, this car's doing this car's doing that. And like, they can take the notes or not, but I could just see her putting them in their own car and being like, whatever, losers.
So Danielle is questioning why she's even going. She feels like people haven't gotten, to really know Owen. They just have tried to do their own independent research, and then maybe pit him as a certain person. And that's why they're disliking him. So that's kind of what she says in the beginning of this. I don't know if anyone has a comment on this.
Listen, I'm not going to do this often, but there was a part of me that was like, you're not wrong. But she's not wrong.
Oh, no, I don't think she's wrong.
So I sided with her a little bit in this moment.
I think something happens on these shows all the time.
What's going on over there? Miniature. She's just dangling from the curtain.
I think a lot of times on these shows, if you are not just talking about it, if you want to be evasive or cagey at all about any information, you've just made it a storyline.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, because they don't want to talk about it, it's what's furthered the narrative.
Yeah.
And also, in defense of her, maybe there is no answer she could have given that would have satiated them.
Yeah.
There's also this part, there's a part which we get to when friggin' Yvonne and Nick ride with friggin'. Can I do two twat faces? I think I'm gonna add
Maybe one has to be a junior or
what's
senior.
his name to the twat face list. So
Gavin?
Amanda's a twat face and Gavin is also a twat face
God.
too.
Am I crazy? Let me know. I love this dude.
I don't hate him either.
I
And
can't-
you know who's with us? All That Glitters.
Oh, good.
But
good.
you guys
good.
love him for TV purposes.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm not into those type of dudes for TV purposes, like evil people, like him and the Jaxes and the what's her face Tamara's. Like I'm not interested. I get it. It's a thing, and like whatever, we got to have a bad guy. It's like I was saying last week. It's starting to not be so fly on the wall. It's starting to be super like not real and uber produced, and them riding together seemed that way to me.
I think that Danielle and Owen's story, like for me, might be like the realest story that's happening right now. Everything else does seem like, and listen, I texted Cooke earlier and I'm like, I'm really getting into this show, even though I think it's massively produced, but the acting is so good that I'm not offended. Like I feel
Me
like
either.
I feel like they're still respecting the viewers. Cause you know how I always say that like, that was so fake. Like you're making me look stupid as a viewer. Like you're treating me like an idiot. I hate that. And I have felt like this show, like they are. I don't believe that like Gavin doesn't come in knowing what he's going to say. I think he talks to Lindsay about it. I think that I'm literally now kind of thinking like really kind of everyone's shit has been overproduced and pre thought out, pre talked about, even pre like have a little sidebar with someone. This is what whatever. But like it's all fine. Like I respect the work that's being put into it. Like it's a first season show. You have to show like you can't just hope for the best. Hope something fun happens and something crazy happens. It really feels this way to me. And so
Go ahead. No.
In that respect, I'm actually good. Like I can throw out everything I've even said about Kenny. I'm like willing to throw out who I think Kenny is today and wait till next season and see if it all still remains. I'm totally open to like it.
I'll co-sign that.
Yeah, like it just seems like I just want to say thanks for a decent, a pretty great first season show.
I think if you're gonna say like, oh, you can't start a new show and hope that you're gonna get story and hope that you're gonna get something out of these people, then that's the moment where you don't move forward with the show, right? Like that's the moment where you're like, well, if we're not gonna get anything out of these people, we probably shouldn't do a show about these people, right? And what I was gonna say earlier is these moments in this show that's taking me out of the like fly on the wall perspective and just making it smacking me in the face with the Uber producing is if Owen doesn't want to talk about this thing that everybody else wants to talk about, then you need to at least come up with something else to talk about.
Yeah.
Like I love all the graphics on this show too. Is everyone's a founder and a hotel tech entrepreneur and a social media entrepreneur, founder of social media. It's amazing. But like, what is a hotel tech entrepreneur? I would love to know more about Owen's job and what he does. Also, we didn't even talk about this last week. Why didn't Danielle say, you guys, I'm sorry, but the app picked out my outfit?
Is her app still going?
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't think it's going
have
well, but it's going.
good reviews. So I would imagine that's DOA.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's not making her any money and it just lives out there in technological absentia.
Yeah. It's a lot of.
I used it to pick out this outfit.
And look how good you
Tonight.
look.
It's a lot of pre-pro to do before you could even use the app. Like you gotta photograph every single item of clothing that you have. Like
That's
that
where they
would
lost it.
Take me an entire day to like do it correctly and put it on a thing and get the front and back. And I don't know what else it asks. I don't know, like.
And like something's going to happen when you're even if you did take all the time, the app's going to crash or the picture's not going to come out right. They're going to kick back 30% of them because the lighting's wrong. It leaves way too much room for error, I think, even though it was a great idea because I would love to have a personal stylist virtually or, but it did not make it into the real world smoothly. In the other car, we have a few cards going out to, where are they? New Hampshire?
Freaking Connecticut. I also thought they were like going somewhere. I thought this was like a Mexico trip or something.
Oh no, I thought they said it, that they were just going up the coast a little.
I missed that part.
Okay, well, Lindsay, Georgina, and Amanda, they all drive out together. And when they're, showing up to get in the car, Amanda has just brought her bag or her pocketbook because all of her other bags are in the car with her husband, who she has chosen to not drive up with, yet she still is trying to convince us that she's doing everything to save this marriage.
Yeah.
Wouldn't quality time be one of those things that you would want to have to save your marriage? She said she's doing everything she can to heal the relationship because seeing how upset everyone got at the dinner over the demise of her and Kyle's relationship broke her heart. Quote, "It's sad when our shit affects other people." Excuse me? You're going to be real peeved at yourself when you fast forward your life a few months, little lady.
Or also, you are clearly have never watched any. Like now, did she watch any of her seasons? I know she stopped this year, but this has got me thinking like, oh, you didn't ever, because that's all you guys did was make
100%.
all your shit, everyone's shit.
It's just been season after season of you
It's your
barfing
calling card.
that's right, your issues with your husband onto every other person that's your castmate.
Yeah.
I think there was only
some people kicked off because of it. And yeah.
It's so odd to me how in pockets of this show, but a lot of pockets of this show, she is trying to, I don't know if it's genuine. I don't know if it's authentic to how she actually feels. But when she talks about, I don't want other people to feel bad about this, or like last episode with the dinner, she was like, Kyle and I have really made a pact to just keep our stuff, because we don't want our friends to have to deal with it. And she said this a number of times on this show.
Yeah.
And I can't, are you trying to, when like a little kid is looking for their Christmas presents or something in their parents' house and they think they saw something, the parents like, no, you didn't see anything. Let's go back and look now. Like they're trying to like reverse psychology them.
Yeah.
I wonder, is Amanda trying, like, did she give these interviews after all the West stuff came out? And now she's just trying to say, to paint a different picture so that we get caught up in this weird hypnosis that she's trying to put us under.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, totally. There's only one outfit that I know for sure, obviously, is from with the buttons on it, like the gold buttons. The thing that I take from when she's saying that is like, if these are interviews that were actually taken during the season before all this should happen, I think that she's trying to basically ready us to not see a lot of squabbling, because she's like, there's nothing to fight about. Like we're not together. We haven't been together for a while. So I'm just trying to, what she doesn't realize is that like, they're going to fight regardless. Like those two don't have to be together to fight. Like they are just a fighting pair of people that whenever they get into a room together, they just set each other off every single time. So it seems to me like she thought, oh, well, because everyone knows, if you've watched any of our Summer House, like I have thought that they haven't been together for quite some time. So I always take that as her trying to let the audience know that when they don't see any arguing, it's just because we're keeping it behind closed doors, not realizing that they are actually going to argue regardless, because that's just who they are.
We also see Amanda's outfit, ? Like, Everyone else looks like a normal functioning adult. And then here's this unhoused former game hunter child in a weird camo oversized t-shirt with a long black sleeve like thermal underneath, and then a faux fur, or I'm hoping it's faux fur vest on top of it. Like, who hurt you? What is that? What are these outfits? What is this look? Everybody else in the room looks like an adult.
Yeah, I don't know. Has she always done? Because I know you just rewatched Summer House. Was she like? I never thought that she had great style, but I don't remember her going so far out of her way to just do middle fingers up.
Listen, she wasn't Paige, right?
Yeah.
But she did have a really lovely way of putting herself together. I think she definitely fell. Not prey, but you know what I mean, to some trends, like when everyone was getting the eye. Thank you. Fell victim.
I knew Amanda was a victim.
That's good, Mike. She fell victim to some trends, like when everyone was doing the heavy eyelash extensions that look like awnings over, like she had those for a while. She just did certain things that were of the moment.
Yeah.
I think this is what we're seeing now, where she thinks this looks great because this is what she saw on trend.
Yeah.
And it does not look great.
No, it's
Z Cavaricci's were also a trend, Amanda. I don't think everyone really was looking great when they were wearing those.
No.
I don't know.
Okay, then we move over to Kyle's car. It's Kyle, Nick, Yvonne, and Gavin. They drive out together. And Yvonne had to be convinced by Nick to go on this trip because she was so pissed about.
Real hardcore convincing.
What?
I'm being sarcastic.
I understand. I'm sorry. I don't know who you're talking about, though.
Nick and Yvonne.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He literally just said Nick had to convince Yvonne, and I said, yes, I'm real hardcore convincing.
You know why I got confused is because you started an eye roll at the word Gavin. So then I was like, wait, convincing? Like,
well, there's that too. Like, I don't understand why they're riding with Gavin. Like, it's just whatever. It doesn't
because
make
they
any
like Gavin.
sense.
And I'm here to tell everyone that if you did not see Yvonne on Watch What Happens, they asked her, Andy said something about like, is it true that you were actually trying to get Gavin and Lindsay together? And she's like, or maybe someone said, is it me or would they make a great couple? And she goes, I'm glad that you brought that up. Interesting, because I was on a hard push for them about a year ago or last year or something, to get them together because she thinks that they're really a lot alike and they have the same background and that like it would have been a good match. And like I take Yvonne to be a very good friend to Lindsay. I don't think you're setting up your best friend with someone that is like some evil shadester, whatever. Like I have a feeling that you have got Gavin wrong in the sense that of who he is and like that he like just like I think that you think he's this evil guy. Maybe you don't enjoy like how he like just like his character or whatever, but I don't think he's some
The Bernie Madoff of hospitality.
Yeah.
When did I call him evil?
Oh, you've called Gavin evil.
Or like the villain of the show.
And that like, no, you've said evil for sure.
Okay.
After this, we go back to the girls' car. It like ping pongs back a little bit. So bear with your moderator, peeps. So now we're in the girls' car. Georgina says she's put her kids down every night, even on the nights that she doesn't have them, which I want to know more about this. Someone said this in our comments. I think it was such a missed opportunity. I will read it when we get to the comments. I just don't know off the top of my head who said it. It was such a missed opportunity by production to not give us more of Yvonne. Maybe she's boring. I don't think she's boring. She seems like a real formidable person, especially to be on one of these shows. She does have a real relationship with a lot of them. She's smart. She has her own business. This relationship, I'm desperate to know more about.
Yeah.
Just the fact that she will every night when the kids are at their dad's house, go over and put them down. Tell me more. That's a lot.
No, that is a lot. So it's like clearly you have a very like good working relationship with this person, or you would have opted out of that. Because I'm sure he's capable of putting the kids to bed, you know.
But what, like,
do they
begs
live
so many
close?
questions.
Yeah. Do they live super close? Like, is there any shot at a rekindling? Like, is there a girlfriend in the mix? Does she have to deal with this mom coming over every night? Like, yeah, I have questions too.
And it's not a sustainable business plan, just so everyone knows. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I can't find my emergency. What do you call it? My emotional support.
Oh, yeah, your emotional support lip gloss. basically, I'm just very interested in knowing why she does this. It could be a million reasons, and we haven't gotten enough from her because maybe the season was filled up with all the Amanda Kyle stuff, the Kenny, his storylines, Lindsay stuff. But I really hope we get into it next season with her.
Yeah, it feels like they're holding it back on purpose in a way.
Totally.
And like they do that. Like obviously, like she's new. I think that they put a little more stock in Yvonne and Nick, probably because they were gonna, I don't know why, because they're a couple and couples just always get more attention. Maybe she's been friends with Lindsay for longer, so that was a thing.
Yvonne,
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I do think that's right.
So it seems like they just sort of go, oh, we'll get to you season 2 because it's just too much to put in. And I'm here to say, no, it's not. We need more stuff all the time. There's so often that we really have to really go back and like fine tooth comb through things to just like have, oh, did you notice this? Did you notice that? Because there's not a lot of big story happening. So I can tell you as a person who has to do the fine tooth combing, as everyone here does, that we could always take more events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can handle it.
Now we bounce over to Kyle's car, and Kyle was just saying to Yvonne that he was glad to see her there and that he was shocked that Danielle had called her a bitch. You were shocked, Kyle, because that was shocking. Like even if you thought that this was the pinkest pink in all the land, it's her third wedding dinner. Like, I don't know, even if it wasn't a wedding or wedding adjacent thing, I think maybe just show some respect for the host. I also wouldn't call anyone a bitch. That's unless you really peeved me.
No, I know. Like, okay, I wasn't here. Was I here for the last one? Okay, I wasn't here for the last one. Let me just like put it out on the table what I think now. Like I thought that was the greatest episode of the season thus far. Like this one was pretty good too, but like that one was really good. And it is my opinion that whole thing was not, it's not staged. It's a show. So they've got to, they know where they're going today. But I just think that like the big reaction that like, I can't believe these people were such animals at this person's dinner. I think that when you have a dinner on Bravo, you know exactly what you're getting. And so but I did find Lindsay's interaction with Danielle and Danielle's side of it to Yvonne was all, I think it was the most authentic part of everything. Everything else felt very much like we knew that this was going to happen. We knew that this was coming. And so I didn't have the reaction of like, I can't believe these heathens. I just want to state that now and let everybody get all their views out right now.
We bounce back to the girls' car. They bring up that Danielle and Owen are coming. And Georgina says, Danielle was really a vision in white when she was at the wedding, which she did. I felt like she had like a good few quippy moments this episode, Georgina.
Georgina's funny as hell.
She is.
Jeez, I've always liked her, but this episode, she totally sold me. I was like, I want to hang out with her, and friggin' Lexi's turning me.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested in hearing this. We now go over to Kenny's car. Lexi asked if Danielle is going to talk to Yvonne about the whole dress thing. Danielle said she regrets how she reacted, which is good because if she didn't, I'd be a little worried. And then brings up all the Lindsay stuff saying, I thought we were good, but maybe we're not good. I thought we were taking quote unquote baby steps. And it just feels like she's really digging into Owen's past. Lindsay has brought up a few times, and it gets brought up later in the episode, that she feels that that was her kind of like looking out for Danielle. And is this girl getting snowed by this guy? Everyone's going to think I'm so naive. I don't know if I'm not saying I 100% think that that's the truth, but I don't know if 25% of that isn't kind of accurate for Lindsay.
Yeah, I think that Lindsay does things that she does because Lindsay's Lindsay, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I don't, like clearly her and Danielle are kismet to be in each other's lives forever.
Totally.
Like, they have been together for so long. They continue to fight like cats and dogs for so long now. And then they always seem to come back together. When they do get at the house later, Danielle comes in there like literally nothing happened. Like just the way her whole demeanor was as if it didn't happen. And I'm not saying that I don't think it really happened. Like I will be like, clearly that was staged or that was fake or whatever. Or that was just like some drama for that scene. I do think that was real. I think that Danielle is on pins and needles wondering like where she is exactly is at with Lindsay, but she knows it's going to be fine. So I just see that interaction as like they're like sisters at this point.
Girl, get out of my head. I was literally thinking the same thing, because when you have a sister, and I don't know if it's the same for brothers, but when you have a sister, you could be truly strangling them.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you're thinking, this will pass. It's fine.
Yeah, we have dinner at 6.
Yeah. It's just, you could be in the deepest fight that even lasts a year.
Yeah.
But you still, and God willing, nothing happens to anyone in that year. But I'll never forget my grandmother and her sister. They were both well into their 90s when they crossed over. And my grandmother would still hang up the phone on her sister if she did something that annoyed her, or they were bringing up an argument about a shirt that my Aunt Lee took from my grandma and she never ironed it before she put it back in her closet. And they would still hang up on each other. And I looked at my grandmother one day and I said, that could be it. Yeah. That's the final disconnection. Why are you still doing that? She's like, because she's wrong and I'm pissed at her. And I'm just thinking, that's what sisters do.
Yeah.
And by the way, they did talk again. Probably
easily. Yeah. Like nothing.
That kind of passion keeps you alive a long time.
Yeah. Another thing I want to say also, I feel like I have a lot of disclaimers at the top because I wasn't here for the last episode. Lindsay did a lot of old Lindsaying this episode. And like, I had to there are things that she did that like before I started liking, or before Lindsay got pregnant.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'm not like seething because my eyes would have been rolled into the back of my head. I would have been just like, oh my God, shut up.
Totally.
Lindsay, And like, I really there were moments that I thought she could have done things better, but I just want to let everyone know now I think it's official. I'm a convert. And because it just didn't hit me at all the same way that it used to. I understand her now.
And you're talking about this episode 8, not the dinner episode. Yes.
I mean, even like all of them, really. Totally. But even this was her Lindsayest Lindsaying moments, I thought, with just how she deals with things later on.
Okay.
And I just was like, I don't get it. When I never would have been. Ever.
Same. I'm a full convert. I don't care. I know our this chapter of Lindsay Hood is flawed.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it. I like her.
Yeah, I do too. I
spent
9 years.
I was going to say 8.5 to 9 years really on the other side of things.
Yeah.
This girl could not win me over for love or money.
And she didn't try, believe. Yeah.
And now I just.
Yeah. I get it.
I do not feel that way.
I am shocked and appalled.
The reason that all of that got brought up is because I was saying with Lindsay, there is a part of me that does believe, even if it's 25%, that she wants to figure out who this Owen guy is, because she might want to figure it out because maybe she's just like, no, I know it all. Yeah. And I think this guy's a scumbag and I'm going to prove you wrong because you kept saying that Carl wasn't the guy for me and we were moving too quickly. Yeah. And you got to revel and relish the being right.
Yeah.
About that, right? So maybe she wants to have that moment, right? Yeah. I still do think Lindsay is one of those specifically women who might just, like the same way that she said in the beginning of the season to Kenny with the Whitney stuff, that's a really big commitment for a woman to make, to move across the country without any larger commitment. I do think Lindsay has these things in her head where she's looking out because she's been burned so many times by guys. Yeah. And I'm not saying that she is not equally to blame. I don't think Lindsay was any walk in the park to be with any of the relationships we've seen her in, Turner excluded because we didn't see him on our TV screens at all. With that being said, history is always an indicator of what's going to happen. Yeah. So it could have been an amalgamation of every guy that she had dated.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think she's on that hamster wheel a little bit with dudes, like looking for the problem because she's experienced the problem. Yeah. Also not realizing she's part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's it. You just nailed it. Yeah. Leave out all the she cares about Danielle and Whitney part, because that's not true. That's fake news. This is a little bit like that part that you're feeling, I think is probably executive producer Lindsay, 20%, and 80% F all these dudes, right? Yeah. Just a little life experience coming out to play, right?
Yeah, because I would call it life experience, because I would not call it man hating, because I think Paige and Hannah, their brand is like the man hater, whatever.
Yeah.
I do not. I think Lindsay is
She's a
older.
man side-eyer. I wouldn't, fine, not man hater, because obviously she wants to get married and have a relationship and whatever. She says she does. But she does all these other things and kind of shits on dudes a lot. And like, if she hadn't done to Kenny the same thing that she's doing to Owen, then I would be like, oh, maybe she does care about Danielle. But the fact that she did it to him and she didn't even know Whitney makes me feel like, oh, you're just, this is a you thing, right? Which it was, which is what Kenny said back then. This seems like a you thing. And she's like, oh, she freaked out. Because it is. It's a you thing. It's a you haven't come to terms with the fact that you haven't been able to have a successful, lasting relationship for whatever reason. The last few dudes have left you, so that's triggering your abandonment thing. And now anything that's not perfect seems, oh, the same thing's going to happen to you that happened to me. Maybe not. And you shouldn't be probably running around telling everyone that it is, because it's. I mean, you can if you want, but it's a little off-putting.
Well, I still think that Kenny brought everything on to himself from the jump. So I think that he came in looking for a spar, and if you've met Lindsay once, you know exactly who she is. So
Wait, from back in the bar, like the first episode?
Yeah.
Kenny started that, is what you're saying?
I still truly believe that whole thing was blown up so big by him. I think that she was not saying the words that he took into his brain that she was saying. It was
Something got lost in translation from out of her mouth and into his ears, because I'm with you there.
It was almost like he knew her reputation or something. Or they spoke about, like I said, spoke about it in advance, like, it would be great if you came in and just went straight for, because he's kind of the new Kyle in a way. Like, Kyle and Whitney are kind of the new Kyle and Amanda. Kenny and Whitney are kind of the new Kyle and Amanda. So I'm going to have my eye on you, Whitney, because I will not be bamboozled again.
Whitney, you seem much neater than Amanda, so right off the bat, I'm okay with that.
No, she does, but there's a lot, that dynamic is there where he's very alpha. She's very just sort of like, and we get to it later, but kind of tries to exert herself in ways that it's like, you're the girlfriend, know your role. We don't even know this guy that well yet. He's new. So like you're the girlfriend of like not even a principal. Yeah. So I just kind of was watching them later and was like, I'm gonna stay on this team.
I kind of think with the Kenny Lindsay stuff in the very beginning of the CZ and the CZ, that's what I'm gonna call him now. CZ1, CZ2. In the beginning of the season, it was one of those things where, you know how sometimes the enemy of my enemy is my friend, where it's like you can, or maybe that's not the right way to put it, but like you're meeting someone else at like his sensitive spot hit her sensitive spot. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Where lucky
Mike's a family show. Where she's obviously sensitive about a man making a commitment and seeing it through, or asking a woman to do something, but then not carrying it through to a bigger commitment, and then that bigger commitment actually happening, the wedding actually happening, staying with the person, even if you've had a child with them. And then I think Kenny, on the flip side of things, has been historically labeled a boy. I mean, that's what, one, my spidey sense says about him. Two, Gavin says it. And I just also don't think the chances that you are a very good-looking, wealthy guy in his 30s to 40s in New York City and you're not a boy, then you're an anomaly. And why aren't you married? Because that kind of guy just wants to settle down, right?
Yeah.
So I think that he's sensitive about his label. She's sensitive about her label. And I think that that's where everything got lost in translation for those two. And he didn't need to go so hard with it, because and maybe this is me being totally naive, but when Lindsay's going for someone, I feel like it's far clearer to me. Like when she sits down to talk about the stuff with Kyle and Amanda, when she wants to make a point to Danielle, like, then get off the show, all of that seemed so, oh, here's classic Lindsay. Yeah. When she said that, I genuinely thought, like, here's a bitch and this is just her opinion. Yeah. Like, oh, wow, that's a big thing for you to move across the country without a commitment. Like, I don't think
you better not mess this up. Like, it was very like almost
Off the
mom
cuff.
saying, like, don't this up. You got a good one, you know? Like, and then he just went in like, oh, man hater alert or whatever. And it's like right away, like that's the man hater and okay, are you on your period?
Shut
like,
up.
Yeah. These two things, like if you're a dude and you haven't gotten that memo yet, like just stay away from these two lines unless you are trying to activate someone. So that's why I think he went in with an agenda and I think he brought that whole thing on himself.
Totally. So Kenny, though, when they're still in Kenny's car, Kenny brings up probably, you know, how Yvonne was feeling about all the wedding stuff and just, you know, just kind of taking the temperature on the fact that she's got to be pretty bummed out to be here.
Again, I just think that whole thing was like not a, like this just feels so overly produced. My gut is telling me that wedding, whatever, was planned within the season for a thing to be done for the show.
Totally.
Like they had been married for 2 years or something, or a year and a half, like whatever it's been, like, and you guys only shot for like 8 weeks or something. And so this is now you've chosen to have this thing. And like, I don't ever really remember hearing about it in the beginning of the season that they like really need to get this civil ceremony, or like, I could just have missed it. I don't know. But it felt like it just sort of came up later on. And then suddenly she's, you know, scrambling to make this dinner. And I thought it was funny when Nick is at the dinner last week, he says, she's been working for weeks on this dinner. Well, if it's your wedding dinner, you've been working for months on it, at least, you know, like you've been like, it's not, I think she tried to put this together in a couple of weeks. Even Danielle, when she says they go back and forth about the dress thing. First of all, I do want to say one thing. Like, I do think it's like no one's really talking about, like, listen, Danielle should have never worn that color of dress. But she did send a text and she did ask.
It's like on a technicality. You can't get that pissed. Also, I'm sorry, I'm gonna die on this hill. It's not your actual wedding.
I know.
This is the umpteenth event that I'm imagining your friends have been to. I'm sure most of the people at this table weren't even at your real wedding because you're not that close to them. So this clearly is for the show. I think, you know, Bethany Frankel on Truly, this is, to me, I think the best cast trip I have ever seen. They went to Mexico and Bethany took all the women to tequila and did a tequila tasting. And she was just showing how like a bunch of skinny girl stuff, like how she was sourcing it, whatever. And it was 10 out of 10. It was the episode that Luann got so drunk that she fell under the bushes. And if you ever just need a laugh, like it really is one of the funniest things you've ever seen. Anyway, everybody knows when there is a big event, when we're having a dinner, someone has a work thing that they're doing, when we're going on a cast trip, this is the beehive of activity for drama. This is where you are supposed to show up and show out in that way. Any problems you have, let's bring it on the trip to the dinner, to the business event. And Bethany said to all of them before they went, she was like, listen, I know everything isn't perfect, and specifically to Ramona, because her and Ramona were having real issues this season. She was like, and she started crying and she just said, please don't do anything. This is actually my real life. This is my business. I am paying to bring everyone there. They took a helicopter into Tequila, landed on like the fields there. And because she has a deal or had a deal with Beam, they're very strict on like their brands being associated with people that are drunk and out of control, which makes sense. And so my point is she knew how left things could have gone because this is the time to do it. Yeah. And she went out of her way to have that conversation. And I just think like it kind of just goes to show this is what we're dealing with. I'm not saying that anyone should do this in real life, but this show isn't real life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll keep saying it over and over again. It is still the first season of a show. There's just so many things that have to happen to get people really like hooked on like a person or a situation or to just get them missing it because it's over after next week, you know? And so Danielle says, I texted you this dress. I didn't even want to wear it. But like, you know, I didn't have any time to get anything else. If it was planned any more than a week or two in advance, then like you would have time to find another outfit. And so just those things told me that like this was an idea that was thrown in the pot, whether it was by production or by her or by Lindsay or whatever, to do this. And the dinner table takedown is everything on these shows. So like it's hard for me to just take a bunch of the shit seriously. But like I already said, I did take Danielle seriously. I think it's because we have caught her in this time where she is in this romance with this dude who is still married, and there's tabloid things going on around it. I don't know how much Lindsay and her had really spoken during that off time. It almost kind of seems like they didn't. Like I kind of do believe that like we are watching them reunite after a stretch of time of not being together. So I don't even know if she was brought in on the conversations that like a Gavin or Yvonne and Georgina would be, you know, with those like kinds of like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about and whatever. So Danielle is acting extremely authentic to me in all of this.
Yeah, and just we don't need to belabor the whole dress thing, but as you were saying all of this, because I heard her say that also, just basically this is all I had time to find.
Yeah.
I had to go to a wedding that was in a specific location. I knew it was going to be really cold at night, but I also knew it was going to be a very beautiful setting. So it's not like I'm throwing on some clunky jacket over it.
Yeah.
I also had to pack it so it couldn't be too big. I couldn't bring an extra jacket. Like there were just, there was a myriad of things around. It had to be a specific color. It couldn't be black. And I went shopping. I think I may have spent 2 days. That's all. And by the way, that's a lot. I don't go shopping like that. I don't spend an entire day dedicated to shopping. I will at some point in my life, but not today. And I remember I ended up calling a friend of mine just saying, hey, I remember you had this red dress that I borrowed a long time ago. If you still have it, can I borrow it? And that's what I wore. I spent 2 full days shopping, still couldn't find anything, borrowed something from a friend. And thank God I loved how it looked on me. But you also have to remember, they're filming.
Yeah.
So you can't just like, have I worn this before? Do I think I look, you know, lumpy and bumpy and whatever?
Is it going to play on camera?
Yes. And so I think, and again, I'm not a Danielle apologist. I've been in this. I was talking about it last week. Like, and I get that my dress that you showed last week was not the same at all. But I have been to so many weddings. I've been in so many weddings that at a certain point you have dress fatigue. And I do kind of feel like there might have been a lot of extenuating circumstances around her showing up in this dress that she shouldn't have been wearing. She should not have worn that dress. That is not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I understand how the sausage got made. That's all.
And Yvonne does seem like a pretty straight shooter. Not as straight shooting as like Georgina and Lindsay are. Like they really have no problem just being like, and, you know, but she does still seem like she's got that in her. So for her to reply, oh my God, stunning, love, like, Yvonne, don't say that next time. Like, is that like, if you have to ask the question, then it's obviously you're like, this probably isn't going to be okay. So I need to ask. So Danielle shouldn't have worn it, shouldn't have ever even asked about it. But Yvonne had like clear and obvious like entry to say, don't do that, dude.
And if the bride says it's okay, I would think
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
If I have nothing else and I think I look hot in this dress and I know it's going to work on camera and Ewan likes it, I'm wearing it.
I do also think something happened because in the picture that she sent to what's her face, unless she edited that photo for the dress to look more pink, in that picture that dress did look very pink, like in the one that she texted to Yvonne.
I mean, it still looked like a white wedding dress, though. You know, like a casual, like I'm getting married on the beach kind of dress. You know, but like somebody could have worn that to a wedding, and it did kind of seem like she either had a filter on it or the lights just completely blew it out.
I was wondering that. Yeah.
But she's also a veteran of television, and she knows what lights are going to do to they said the word of what they call it, muted. I can't remember, but
blush,
you would know
bashful.
that was going to look white.
Okay, so now we go back to the girls' car. Lindsay says she hasn't spoken to Yvonne since this big blowout dinner, which is weird because they normally speak 18 times a day. And Lindsay says, you know, she in classic Lindsay fashion, she doesn't understand what she did wrong. You know, and we'll get there when she says why she doesn't understand what she did wrong. Then we have Kenny's paintball pit stop.
So random.
So
Could have done without the whole thing. Don't understand what this, like, what?
It was a great showcasing of Georgina and her wit.
Yeah.
I loved it for that purpose.
Yeah.
But I could have totally done, I don't understand it. This was useless to me. Except for the fact that Amanda nearly shot Kyle's dong off. And she was like so psyched when she hit him. You don't like this person. Just stop. And I get it that they're divorcing now, but like in this moment.
But if what Lindsay says later is true, then what else would she want to be shooting?
Oh, the cheating stuff?
Yeah.
Then leave, Amanda.
Yeah, but before. Couple in the dong on my way out. I'm okay with that. I'll approve that message.
I think that she actually does like Kyle because she likes who Kyle allows her to be. That victim that like, oh, this guy, got to deal with this guy again. You know, she really is so comfortable in that role. So I think she actually likes being around him more than like you would think a normal person would, because she's not normal.
We'll get to the whole cheating video thing that, or how many times he's cheated. I just need to earmark this so I don't forget it. Let's talk about the no sex that they were having for however many years when we get there. I just want to put a pin in that, audience. Okay, Kenny is psyched to do this. Georgina's like, I'm in ballet flats. Absolutely not. The teams are Kenny, Gavin, Kyle, Whitney, who your boyfriend picked you third, which I get it. Maybe not an athlete. I just feel like, I don't know. Shane would, that was my last boyfriend. I feel like he would be like, boo-boos, love you. You're the worst. Go on the other team. Like, I would have liked that from Kenny. Then Nick and Lexi and the other Lindsay's team, Owen, Amanda, Andrea, Danielle, and Yvonne. And I just thought Lindsay's strategy for picking her teammates was so great.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I would have never thought to do that.
No, because that's walking into your confrontation, that's being like, let's huddle them up right now. And I'm like, just shoot me in the face right now. I'll stand still.
That's right.
Let's just get it over with.
After they have their game and Georgina decides she wants to play more, Lindsay, Amanda, and Whitney get a drink. Lindsay says she's surprised that Danielle and Owen are even here. And Lindsay defended herself that she doesn't think it's weird that she looked up basic information about him because she wants to make sure that she's not getting snowed. But the boys...
I love that she brought that back again. That's hilarious.
Okay, she really knows the buttons to hit.
Yeah.
She feels looking up things maliciously to have like this gotcha moment.
Yeah.
And then we end with the besties moment of the episode when Georgina was basically saying, shouldn't they have dumped Gatorade on me or done something of the sort? It was adorable.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
God, I love her. I really like her.
She's funny.
Yes, she's funny. And she just is like, I don't know, living a life. Like she's got a whole life that like, I feel like everything, she's still carrying on with this thing, but I think that she's busy morning, noon, and night with this whole other thing. Yes. And she's still doing this, and we get to see her outside of it. And there's something about her that like when we do get into talking about the mom cards and whatever, I think that they might both play it, but in such different ways. And being a person who doesn't have kids, I would just so enjoy the way that we've talked about this before. The way that Georgina does motherhood, would give me a sense of relief to be to be hanging out with them a lot, because I would just be like, she doesn't seem to give a shit, but gives a shit about what she should, but is not sweating the small stuff.
Totally.
So I appreciate that.
I also will be so curious next season if we get any of this, because listen, to go over to your ex's house and do the whole bath or, bedtime routine. I'm assuming that includes a bath and reading a book and all of that. I get it. Your kids are only this age once. I mean, they're only any age once, but this baby toddler thing, she's clearly such a great dedicated mother. With all of that being said, it's not a sustainable business plan, right? Because what if you meet someone?
Yeah.
Right? Are you just going to leave them every single night that your kids aren't with you so that you can put them down and then you're never having a night? There's just something there that I think will be interesting once we unpack it with her.
Yeah.
I think she has major trauma from the breakup. She has kind of touched on it, just how crappy it was and that she did want to fight for the relationship, and he left her while she was pregnant, which is wild. That seems like a wild move for someone to do. I understand that it happens, but I'm just saying you're making a big statement when you're doing that.
You couldn't do it at a worse time. It really is the worst.
Yeah.
Of the worst.
And I'm not talking about you guys it was a one night stand and like we tried to make it work, and 6 months into the pregnancy. No, they were together for years.
Yeah.
Were they married?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know either.
I feel like some people have asked that. We've questioned that, but we haven't gotten that answer yet. But anyway, all of this stuff, I'm just really excited that we will hopefully be unpacking it in season 2.
How do you spend that much time with Georgina and not just ask her to come home? Like, you're still seeing her every night and she is mothering your kids and she's so cool and she's so cute and like clearly makes money. And like, I just, how do you, it's one thing like you break up and then it's like, okay, we just don't see each other. So like, I don't have to be reminded of like how fantastic you are, but like you're seeing her every night and you're still not begging her, like, let's try. Or maybe, you know what, maybe he is and maybe she says no. We don't know.
You know how she said that she wanted the relationship to work?
Yeah.
I do wonder if it is that part. This is why I want to know. This is why I keep saying it. It begs so many questions.
Yeah.
Is she doing this every night so that you remember how amazing she is? Because remember she said I wanted to force
move.
She said I wanted to force my ex to hang out with me. Remember when they were talking about the settlement or like custody
family
stuff?
Time. Yeah, that's
yes,
right.
and the lawyer's like, you legally can't do that.
Yeah, that's so funny.
At least not to an adult. And I wonder if maybe, okay, I can't legally do it, but I can still do it. You don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God, I found a great apartment. Oh wow, do you live right next door here?
You live in this building too? I thought it looked familiar. Yeah. Okay, so now everyone arrives at the house. It's this lovely, ginormous house, and Georgina very quickly, as everyone's kind of, milling and seething and finding their way through the home, Georgina very quickly yells, "Lindsay, I put our stuff in our room." However, Kenny, when he was in his car, had a completely different idea of how this was going to go. He wanted to, as a way to say sorry, as an olive branch of sorts, give Yvonne and Nick the primary bedroom.
Yeah.
Then Lindsay says, oh, and obviously it comes to a head because now they're talking about the fact that no, we are taking this room. We've already taken it.
Yeah.
We're single moms. It's our first time away from our kids in a really long time. We're exhausted. We're going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. No,
that's not me. Lindsay basically was like, sorry, not sorry. I'm taking this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not one who buys but I have a kid. Like that. Cool. You had a kid. Congratulations. That was your choice. You decided to do it. You had time to change your mind, whether you believe in that or not. You like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, cool. I'll hang out. Like, I get that it's stressful and hard and like kids are a lot. I get all those things. But I don't, it shouldn't be a negotiating tactic in my mind. Like, because you chose to have a kid doesn't mean that you get special requirements or special treatments over people that chose not to have children. That to me is a little crazy. So when people are like, "Oh, I have a child. This is my child. I'm a mother." Congratulations. What does that have to do with anything that is happening right now? So I don't know. And maybe Kenny should have had that conversation with Lindsay and been like, "Hey, I had this idea to give them the
That's
thing."
what I
like,
think.
But I still think if Lindsay wasn't turning into old Lindsay, she would have been like, "Oh gosh, actually, yeah, that we did kind of destroy her dinner. Let her have the room, You're a mom, you're tired. Yeah. Great. That bed is good. That bed is good. The 2 beds over here are good. If all you're worried about is sleeping, then there's 15 beds in this place. Your dinner didn't get ruined. Your life didn't get ruined by Gemma. This is the best thing that ever happened to you. So why are you using Gemma as Gemma, I can't get a minute away from, like, that's what it sounds like to me. It's like, finally free from this ball and chain. What? Wait till Gemma watches that. That's going to suck for her.
It did not come across to me as the ball and chain thing, but I agree with you that I think it was a super lovely gesture that Kenny was offering. I just think the way to go about it is to have the conversation with Lindsay because they were both, hosting the trip. I don't understand.
She brought all those bags, all those gift bags, that she was taking around to everyone's room. Like, it was their trip. But
it also falls in line with all of the Uber producing of this show, right? The shitty dinner, the ridiculous outbursts that ended with, "Hey guys, we're going to wrap in 10 minutes. Kenny, do the, hey, we're going to plan a trip next week." Like, it was so fake. This thing, Kenny not telling Lindsay that, not telling the people that needed to know, and then causing another scene of drama. Like, typically you cast people who have beef, or this person is this type of person, that's a this type of person, that's a this type of person. And it's their archetypes, their stereotypes, they're what you do when you write a movie or a scripted show or a reality. It's all the same shit. And then, like you said in the beginning, well, if we didn't have anything, then you move on. If you have something, that because this chick and this chick are going to fight. How do you know that? Because they're two different people. And these two people fight all the time, no matter who they are, in what friend group, in what area of the world, we're all the same. So this is where this is not becoming real. It's becoming super produced and super like, oh, Kenny had to have told somebody we're going to give them the thing. And they were like, okay, could just keep that to yourself. Don't tell. And then, you know what? You guys should you guys are mothers. You've been working hard. Like a producer set that shit up. It just reads that to me.
Yeah.
So this show now is like,
McBee
and not
Dynasty.
even now, it's McBee Dynasty. It's 100% McBee Dynasty in the city. McBee Dynasty. So a bazillion years ago, Natalie went vegan for a hot second.
6 months. It was
Okay.
a long
Yeah, it was not
time.
a hot second, but it
not
was
vegetarian, vegan.
Yeah, full vegan.
It is so hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
And she bought the.
Sorry, really quick. If you're rich, it's not as hard.
Oh, that was the thing. We bought that Alicia Silverstone book.
Yeah.
I want to say every meal I made was about a $300 grocery trip every time for like random saffrons that like I didn't before I realized like you don't have to use the saffron, idiot.
That's right.
But like I just didn't want to recipe because it didn't seem like anything else was in it that I was gonna like.
Yeah.
So
It's Spence.
yeah.
She'd be like, oh, it's veganese. It's sausage. It's this. It's the vegan version of this. And she'd be like, we got to try it. And we'd try it. And mostly me, I'd be like, that's not sausage. I'm not eating that shit. That's not mayonnaise. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating. That's not what that. It's not that. It's not that. And one day, I think it was Dan Ellswick, who I've talked about on this show, who's a vegan. And him and I talk about whether you should eat cows or not all the time when we work together. But he was saying like, he's like, you have to get that out of your mind. He's like, don't look at it as the vegan version of sausage. He's like, just eat the thing. You're ordering a brand new thing. It's not a thing of a thing. It's not the version of it's just a thing. Just order the thing and eat the thing.
Yeah.
Do you like the thing or do you not like the thing? Go from there. And I was like, okay, I can do that. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, we just stopped doing that. And everything, not everything, definitely not everything, but things started tasting real like, oh, that's really good. That's super delicious. That it just became good food. That is McBee Dynasty. If you know that McBee Dynasty is not a reality show and it's not the vegan version of reality, it's just a semi-scripted show about these dudes that run a ranch, and that's real. But everything else is like, then it's like, cool, you can get down with that. This show is slowly becoming, well, not even slowly. To me, it's becoming that. It's like, if you're down with a reality show that is totally not real, other than like, they do live in New York, that's a thing. They have jobs. You're not going to know about them, but they do have them, and they'll say that.
You're not gonna know about them.
Like, so those two things are real. They're human people. That's a real thing. Other than that, none of it's going to be real.
Maybe
if you're cool with that, then fire away.
Like, because we have watched half of this three of them at least, if not more, but three that I can name. More than that, because Andrea too. So 4 at least. People be on a show that like we believe was totally real. Like Summer House was, I mean, because it had to be. It was voyeuristic. It was, cameras everywhere. Like we always talk about how it sets itself apart from all the other ones. So maybe this one, like they have it in them to make good TV totally au naturel. I just feel like right now, it seems like Lindsay would not take chances on a first season. Like she is going to make sure that the season is a banger regardless. And then once people are in, okay, season 2 will lighten those kind of like, not restrictions, but those like pre-pro meetings, and making sure that everything is sauced out. And also it does have to be a little bit more scripted because it's not all happening in one place anymore. It's happening all over town. So if you have a shoot day somewhere, like
Yeah, it's different than just all of the cameras in this house that
Yeah.
you guys are all locked in for a minimum
Yeah.
of 48 hours.
You can have that fight anytime today.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow because you're here all weekend.
Also, you have the time for things to organically
Yeah.
rise to the surface or to
Yeah.
quell or to make up, whatever.
Yeah.
I also think when you're living on top of people, just different emotions come out at different
Yeah.
times because you
Yeah.
are in a more
Pressure cooker.
a pressure cooker, but it leaves room for normal interactions,
Yeah.
right? Like you are going to run into someone in the hallway.
Yeah.
When before that, you're not running into this person in the hallway because you're in your own home and they don't live there and you're driving to this dinner party where you know you have to see them and start to talk about something.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before when we were covering, I think, Salt Lake. I don't understand. We have done these shows for so many years. I don't mean me, I mean like
Yeah.
the people that film these shows
Yeah.
and that are on these shows. How has no one learned the lesson that you go in with, it's like table settings. This is where you're going to sit.
Yeah.
How are you not saying, this is going to be your room? I'm the host. I'm in charge of this trip. You're sleeping here. You're sleeping there. It happens on every housewife show where people, especially with Ramona in New York, she would be like a heathen
Yeah.
trying to get the best room. I just don't understand. Just prepare and tell people, put little cute little embroidered something, engraved something. The Urban and the Mystic. We've got all your engraving needs covered.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Then you can't have the 6-minute fight of who's in what room. And I
oh,
said
you're
that
saying
she
the
can
producers
have
are
that-
saying
that-
they're not
yeah, these-
Oh,
allowed.
It's such a
to-
layup.
Yeah, these are the things that are produced. Like you can get people that you know, this personality and this personality, oil and water, they're not going to mix. It's going to take one thing to blow them off, right? Or set them off rather. And so we're going to put them and then we're going to do the one thing and they're going to blow up and we're going to get a whole thing out of it, right? And then there's big things and then there's little things. Little things are, oh, cast trip. What about who's getting what? Just don't worry. We'll figure it out when we get there.
It's almost like it might be in your contract, like you are not allowed to discuss
Yeah,
rooms.
So
Yeah,
that's my
but
question.
like,
Are they
yeah.
allowed to say you can't do that? Because there have been some trips.
I mean, they couldn't because obviously these people are all friends. So it's like they are easily could call each other and be like, just so
But
you
it
know.
also
I'm-
depends on that thing that we talk about all the time. Like with Summer House is a perfect example. Summer House, and people are going to be like, all these things are happening. Everyone lives a life. Not everyone's life is filmed. Some people in their life go do a really cool thing every summer, i.e. rent a house with their friends, right? So that was already a thing that was happening and producers decided to go film it with these kids and that's how you got Summer House. So again, they pay for the house, they pay for their food. Like what cameras are not, you guys are already, you're going to be here regardless, right? We're just licensing this time of your lives to make a story out of it. With shows like In the City, where it's less a thing that's happening already. It's more of a, oh, we're going to produce your lives and follow along on your lives. Then the cast trips and shit like that are produced and aren't so much like what groups of friends are going on the amount of trips other than housewives, ladies who have money. But like friends don't go on crazy trips like that. Most friend groups. Yeah. So that's just it's a thing. It's a tactic. It's a way to cause stress, travel, packing, airlines, flights, hotels, rooms, who gets what, who's sleeping where, who's going to, what, you know, there's so many things in there to set people off.
Absolutely. And for the most part, I get all of that whole construct. I think where I always thought they were maybe the castmates were in charge of things was in the area of rooming. I thought you were able to say, if I'm the host, I'm going to put these two together and they're going to go in this room. These people are married. They're going to go in this room. I thought you had jurisdiction to do that, but maybe you don't.
You should be able to in that respect, because I don't know. It really sets the tone of the trip a lot of times. Like if that's your beef with someone and someone swoops in on something that you're like, it's like if no one is allowed to claim anything and it just sort of has to be like the way that it shakes out is the way that it shakes out. Like there is no like, oh, this host gets to do whatever they want to do. I feel like sometimes the hosts do. Housewives hosts do a little bit more. Like the host usually will take the primary. It's the rest of it. If there's a second primary or if there's a second best room that also has a sitting area or whatever.
There's a lot of housewives trips where they have set the rooms. That's why I'm wondering,
Yeah.
like, is, to Mike's point, like, is this a production choice where they say,
it feels
you're not going to be
yeah.
able to do any of that? Like, you get to the house and
Yeah.
everyone just has to, fight for where they want to be.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, because there's just no way that they haven't thought in advance of like, I don't want to deal with this again. Like, Craig like wears it on his sleeve when they go to places and he doesn't get to like have the room that he wants or whatever. He's such a baby about it. He's just like, it sets him off in a way where like the rest of that day, you don't really know how the rest of this day is going to go because Craig didn't get to have the thing that he wanted, that he feels like I'm this old. I've been on this show for this long. I make this amount of money. I don't do this anywhere in my life ever. I choose these things. And now like it's being taken from me and he like cannot sit with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's got to be some other people. Like, I know that I wouldn't want to just, because I'm not going to fight with people. But if I feel like this person's just always swooping in and always got there and trying to race in and whatever, like that's so annoying to me. And then I'm just irritated at you. And then like, I'm just going to act a little like there could just be like a 4 to 5 hour stretch of time that I'm just like, I'm not with you, Or
you know what it would do for me? I would be cool. Clearly, we've all seen the Wes Wilson breakdown I had. I'm cool until I'm not.
Yeah.
So I would just be, now I'm not chill anymore. I'm simmering, right?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you do, now I'm boiling a little bit, but I'm still trying to keep the lid on.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you do could be completely not even in the top 10 of the most annoying things you've done. But
my fork off the table.
But I'm just like, let me tell you another thing. Like, it would just set me off in a way, and that is, I guess, the producing that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
The other thing in regard to Lindsay being the secret EP is maybe Lindsay did know that. Maybe Kenny did say that to her, and maybe she was like, and her and Yvonne, she told Yvonne, or they told Yvonne, or something,
Yeah.
And she took because like it doesn't make sense that like there's not a ton of people that would do that. Like there's a ton of, and I'm gonna go back on the mom thing. There's plenty of moms, and I kind of would have been like, I don't want to hear that I'm a mom and that's my excuse. That being said, I would probably be like, well, she's a mom. Let her have I would say it. It's okay for me to say it.
Right,
I don't
but
want
don't
you
you
to tell me.
Yeah.
But like, so I probably would have done that. But I also think like if any other two moms were in there, we're in the exact same scenario where we all just destroyed this person's fake wedding, whatever you want to call it, right? We ruined it. So they should at least have the first pick. I bet you Nick and Yvonne wouldn't have picked that room. I bet you Nick and Yvonne would have been like, oh my God, you guys are so sweet. You guys are moms. You take that room. You first, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But the fact that Lindsay said no, Yvonne said, or Georgina said no, which she doesn't seem like somebody who's going to be a dick like that. So they both doubled down on it. They giggled about it. Lindsay stormed off. Again, just makes me think like this was stacked upon stacked upon stacked of guaranteed story beats, and arguments and fights. And Lindsay knew that her and Yvonne were going to talk later. So it was just going to add a little more sauce to that conversation that they were going to have.
Yeah.
Again, though, it's so obvious. It's too obvious, and it's taking me out of being a fly on the wall of watching these people's lives, who are people that I've enjoyed for 10 years.
It usually does me too.
Me too.
I'm like questioning myself. I'm literally, that's why I texted Christina. I'm like, I don't like, there's just something different about this time.
Yeah.
I always feel insulted. I always feel like this is so stupid. The story's not even that good. So the fact that I know you're lying on a lazy bitch story anyways is like a double wham of just like,
insulting
what are we doing
me
here? And now we have to do a show about it for 3 hours, and like, so it's just like, how dare you? This is different. The two things, if you also, at the top of this episode, when Yvonne and Nick are even having like should we go? Should we not go? Like Yvonne cracks at a certain point where she just kind of, starts laughing
100%.
a little bit, right? When they're like, should we do it? I don't know.
That's what I said. And then when you were like, oh, he convinces her. And I'm like, yeah, real hard convincing. That was my point. It was her. She's giggling. Yeah. And then 2 seconds later, they walk out and get in the car with Gavin. Well, like, it would have only been weirder if it was Lindsay, Gavin, and those two, right? And Amanda and Kyle. Like, if that was the crew, I would be like, this is not real. This is what's so stupid.
Mike, to that point, and I feel like you're going to feel me on this, I know. It's like I don't really eat processed foods, right? But sometimes you got some real good Doritos in front of me and I'm hungry enough and I'm eating it and I'm enjoying it like it is the nectar of the gods. Like I'm at the French Laundry and Thomas Keller has walked me through his personal garden to create this salad that I'm eating, okay? I should be annoyed that I'm getting this much joy from this crap because I don't eat crap. But I love it. I'm lapping it up. Give me another bag. Like I like it. And I also don't hate Gavin. Like, and in any other world, Gavin would be persona non grata for me. If Gavin was on the Valley, I would be, what's the opposite of Party of Schwartz? Eviction of Gavin? Like it would annoy me so much. For whatever reason, I am in La La Land with this show and I'm just enjoying it. And I know I shouldn't. I know it's processed food.
Totally. And then the other thing, okay, just one other thing I want to add about like just this room thing. If you got to look at it also like the two principals, and I maybe would include Carl in this, I don't know, but like Kyle and Lindsay started Summer House. Like I know it was Kyle's house or whatever, but like if there was a secondary person there or that could be the lead of that show, I mean, Lindsay just really established herself like from the jump. She was there every weekend. She was calling shots all the time, even if like nobody paid attention or like listened to the shots called or whatever.
I'm sorry, did you say she was one of the people that started the show?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So Kyle and Amanda have been in the primary bedroom in every season almost. I feel like there was one time that Craig and Paige snaked it from them when they got to Winter House early. And that's also when Craig was like just throwing his money around, you know, and being like,
for the housekeeper.
He's like, here's $1,000 or like what for the housekeeper too.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation. Why am I going to clean? I do get that. I do. Craig does not do these things well in real time, but like, I do understand that concept. But I think he just felt like he could just throw $1,000 at Kyle and Kyle would be cool with like spending Winter House in a queen bed, you know, downstairs, like not, because I feel like everybody else had already taken all like the secondary best rooms. And so anyway, Lindsay this is her shot. She's got to claim the primary. It's a pecking order. There's precedent to be set on this day. And I think that she gets that. And that like, I thought it was so funny that Kyle was like nowhere to even be seen during this like rooming conversation in the beginning, which is so not Kyle. Like Kyle, I think knows like, yeah, I get it. I'm been demoted. You know, I don't
Kyle's also not Kyle right now, right? Like he has just had the snot kicked out of him and he's not performing at peak Kyle. So I think that's why he's nowhere to be found. And I think your theory is dead on accurate because if you go in the mind of someone like a Lindsay, okay, we're not saying this is right, but I think that this is what a Lindsay's thinking. You're rolling into this house with vets and newbies.
Yeah.
She's a vet. Amanda and Kyle are still one person, but they're down and out because their relationship's falling apart.
Yeah.
So it's really her.
Yeah.
And there's no way she's thinking, I'm going to let a newbie have this master suite. That's very interesting, Natalie.
Yeah. There's just something about Lindsay finally because as long as Kyle was around and married, she was just never going to get that room.
Yeah.
It also seemed like the only other people that were able to snake Kyle and Amanda on something, I feel like one year Sierra and Paige were like, we're taking it. I don't give a fuck. And like they had just established themselves. Enough years had gone by and they became fan favorites. And so like they knew, but it took that confidence to like get them to be able to do that. And so now Lindsay is like, there's no way in hell that I'm not getting the first cast trip, the room that I want, and everyone needs to recognize that like none of you would be here without me.
That's
just
right.
So, and they wouldn't be. It's just love or hate Lindsay. This network, I think, entrusted Lindsay to get it done because she would get it done.
Fine with all of that, and love that she did, and totally believe that that is the case. Don't act like that though. Like Lindsay, just so off-putting to like. You know, just be that dick.
Isn't that a part of it though? To be like, you got to learn now. You want to argue? It's not. There is no argument. That's my room, and you can suck a dick.
No, just the whole like because like when you're like, oh, she's she put this thing together and none of you would be here without her, and she's letting them know that in not so many words. That's what I'm saying. I don't need that part. Yes, you did.
Okay.
Don't like, if you're going to throw that, like, just, it's like, I don't care that you are the guy. Don't tell me you're the guy. Just be the guy.
It's a part of being it's setting the precedent now. It's like, it's firing a kid on the first day who's never really going to work there,
It's not
so
the
that
first
everybody would
day.
see that it's the first season. It's the first cast trip of this brand new show that she is now taking the lead on, because Kyle is a wounded bird.
Incapacitated.
Yeah, Kyle's got a wrap around his feathers, you know.
It is a little ironic that she's taking the lead finally with her best girlfriend, her best mom friend. Like, she's not doing it with a dude like she always wanted to.
Well, Kenny's the one that tried to put this in motion, which I think, again, we can talk this whole thing, but we can also all go back to the fact that, like, I bet that Lindsay and Kenny had a conversation before this, because that is just what this show is. That's the whole vibe of this show, that it's all very pre-done for your viewing pleasure. Thank you.
For your consideration.
Yeah. Say please and thank you, Lindsay.
I do. Okay. After this, Whitney and Lexi have their chat.
Silly hoe.
Whitney says it would have been such a low lift to give Yvonne and Nick the room. I don't know why Lindsay didn't do it. And furthermore, Lindsay's always playing the single mom card, which is a whole other thing to get into. We can't get into it this second because we have to cut for episode 2.
Yeah.
Or part 2 rather. But we're going to pick up at this juncture, and we have a lot to say about that, as well as getting to all the other meat and potatoes of the episode where, they spread this little piece of information at another kind of kooky dinner scene. So like, subscribe, hype, tell a friend, and meet us over at part 2.
Yeah, great.
Also, I saw in the comments the other day, someone's like, oh, wait, they said there was part 2, but where is part 2? Sometimes part 2 takes a second to get out. So just bear with us, but it will always be out.
Yeah, we split them up so you can get something as fast as you can, because tomorrow we'll shoot the Valley. So I've got to edit before we start doing that, and then that way that can get out. And all that. That's why we do the
Method
part
to the
1.
madness.
Yeah. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.